Nancy, congratulations
Mm.
for being selected as a finalist for the Exceptional Women of Peace Awards.
Mm.
We'd like to start by just having you share your name, where it is you live, and where it is you work.
Okay, my name is Nancy Merritt. I live in the San Francisco, Oakland Bay Area in the great state of California, and that's where I do my work. I was also raised in Colorado, so I have that kind of influence going on too.
Beautiful. And
I wanted to add also, so this is Ohlone land, and I wanted to give acknowledgement to that.
thank you. And how do you define where you do your work?
Um, I define it as where I am, wherever I am. That's where I do my work. I think that's what we all do. Just our being, whatever our being is, we put it out there in the world and do our work that way.
Perfect. So tell us a little more about your work and what difference it makes. And if you have a story to share with us, that would be wonderful.
Hmm. Um, well, I think, like I said, your life is your work. So think my work started really when I was young and realizing having some awareness about my world. And I grew up um, in the midst of the civil rights movement and was impacted in my youth by that. And I lived in a neighborhood where there was white flight and people leaving, and our family did not leave. So I had the privilege of that experience. And as I was growing up, also, I lived in Colorado, and they had their centennial of the statehood, and for some, well, because because of who this country is, they didn't mention Native Americans, and I thought that was really strange, and so. I think I started my quest to learn more about the civil rights movement, to learn more about surely there are Native Americans around, and peace, how this all tied in with peace. So I think that was the beginning of my journey. I could say, I think a story is that when I was looking to learn more about Native American people, I studied, I was studying and trying to find those connections, and eventually came to California and got tied in with the American Indian movement and went on the longest walk across Arizona and New Mexico. And this was during the time when this nation was trying to abrogate the treaties. And I learned so much from participating with the different tribes in this. And just I don't know. I think the main part was the big melting pot in New Mexico and seeing how the Caucasians and the Hispanics and the tribes and the clans, how all of those kind of interconnected or sometimes didn't interconnect so well. Um, and then I came uh, as part of being in California every year. There's a ceremony at Thanksgiving time on Alcatraz Island. So I've been able to go to that and seeing how vibrant the Native American community is. Not only the California tribes, but I think there are almost close to 100 other tribes that live in this area. And one year, Chief Arvil Looking Horse was one of the speakers who addressed the gathering. And he said that we're in a time of decision, a time where we have to choose. Do we want to succumb to the chaos, or do we want to unite and find our spirituality together and work together? And a quote that's always struck me is he says, "You're put here in this time and in this place to make a difference to humankind. Did you think you were put here for something else?" So that's always stuck with me, that yeah, we need to do something better than just our own looking out for our own selves. So I think that sort of has led my main focus for since 2004 has been with the Department of Peacebuilding and campaign for Department of Peace, and to create a cabinet level in our government that will focus on prioritizing peace. And it has a lot of ramifications. I've learned so much over the years. So it has an international and national level. So the international level is we're part of the Global Alliance for Ministries of Peace. Nationally, we've worked with Congress over the years and we've met with probably, I don't know, a few hundred congressional offices. And that's been really impactful because our focus is on the connection, not the convincing. So learning to find where we all connect, because we don't always agree with each other. And but somewhere at the core level, we're all human beings. And just learning that about those offices is so interesting and impactful. And, sometimes it results in those folks endorsing the Department of Peacebuilding, sometimes not, but we learn a lot. And then we worked at the state level. We've worked, for example, in New Mexico. They've been working to create an Office of Peace in that state for years and years. We've worked in California for a state level entity. We worked in Oakland and all kinds of other cities making those connections. We testified in Oakland for a Department of Violence Prevention, which they do have now. And just connecting with others. One of my most joyful is connecting with the young people in San Diego, because they have a really vibrant community, and they always celebrate International Day of Peace by bringing together so many in the community. And we've participated with them in hundreds of letters to members of Congress. So really begging the adults to please do something to make our world a better place. So those are kind of the main levels. We do a lot. We connect with a lot of organizations. We're so proud to be in connection with Pathways to Peace and World Beyond War and so many others. So really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you. So how do you define peace, Nancy? And you talked a little bit about kind of the source of your dedication to peace, but I wonder if you could expand on that as well in terms of kind of what keeps you keeping on. But first, how do you define peace?
So I define it really simply. First, because I can remember, but and I don't like all the technical terms and jargon, but there's a Hopi adage that together with all nations, we protect both life and land and hold the earth in balance. And to me, that's peace and peace building, and the implications of the nations, meaning all human nations, but also the tree nations and the fish nations and the birds and the animals. So always reminding us that we're connected. And I think when we see that, we stop and we think about what we want to be and what we want to do. And I guess another thing that inspires me is the Dalai Lama, really. His very simple definition of what his religion is kindness. And if we can all do that, I think, we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah. And I don't want to miss anything. So do you feel you've covered kind of the source of your dedication to peace and what keeps you keeping on?
Um, I mean, I think the source is trying to manifest our connection, trying to be my best self and trying to lift people up so all of us are our best selves. And I think my inspiration really is so many people and beings around me. I In this work, you get to meet so many incredible people, and you learn so many lessons from them all. And I think there's a saying is joy will find you if you let it. And so if you look, if you're aware and open, you'll find those lessons and you'll find that joy. And there are so many people that, do that. Just recently we did an interview with Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, who is the new sponsor of the Department of Peacebuilding. And she's experienced incredible amount of hate. Yet she has such a positive, open persona. And one of the stories she told was she was in a cab and a cab driver just started spewing hate at her. And she said what she did, there wasn't much else she could do, but what she did was pray for his humanity and for the humanity of all who have hate in their hearts. And to me, that was really good advice.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah, beautiful.
yeah.
Oh, Nancy, in your work for peace, of what are you most proud?
Mm. I think I'm just most proud of all the people I've met and all the lessons that are out there and are offered and that we learn. And I'm proud of people who are going through a lot of adversity and keep on, keep on keeping on. Um, there's a saying, it takes a village, and I'm really proud of that village. And yeah, I think that's it. Just our connection and the fact that we can keep on, that we can go above the times where we may be down and be able to get into the stay in the positivity and remember that we're doing this work not only for ourselves, but for our children and our children's children and the generations to come.
Beautiful. And so we are winding down now. So, what more would you like others to know about you and your work?
Mm, I think I'd like people to know that we all matter and that it's important that we lift each other up and important that we make those connections and that we keep on with the work. Um, I had there's a Buddhist affirmation that says to me is a really powerful statement. It says, "May all living beings be happy. May all living beings be healthy. May all living beings be safe. May all living beings flourish and thrive. May I be happy and live with meaning and connection and equanimity and a playful, grateful, joyful heart. May I be healthy and have a body that gives energy and flexibility and strength and stability. May I be safe and protected from all sorts of inner and outer harm. And may I flourish and thrive and live with the ease of well-beings." And then there's a voice saying, a verse saying, may all those things apply to us as a whole. And that's who we are. We're a whole entity that we need to lift each other up.
That's beautiful, Nancy. A beautiful way to close. Thank
Mm.
you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tez. I want to thank you and your work and your organization for so much that you do.
Mm, thank you.